Okay, let's take a look. So the first important thing is the grip. And that's why that's important for both of you to have that grip teaching aid. Now your grip is, we're going to see here in a second, here's your tendency in your grip more than anything else, is your glove hand, or what we call the left hand or the front hand of the body. It has a tendency to be like that, and I'm over exaggerating, where we would see a lot of fingers and no knuckles. And what we want is this one, where we see hands in what we call extension, meaning bent in. This hand on top where we see knuckles and no fingers. So that teaching aid is just, the most important is our connection to that grip. And so that's what we always want to work from. Now before we look at your swing, the main thing I wanted to do was create a picture of how golf clubs work. The natural instinct is to get underneath the ball. So what happens here, we're going to zoom over here to the left. So this is also, I'm taking it from my ball position video, which I'll send you. But the instinct is to get underneath the ball. And the key is we are not going under. We're on a downward blow to the ball, meaning we're on a downward path to the ball. The ball is in the middle of the stance here, but the bottom of the green arrow is where the club is going to bottom out. So we're on a downward blow to the ball. As it hits these faces that are pointing in these upward direction, these faces have different loft angles from a wedge to a driver. And once it hits that face, the ball is going to launch up, and the club will go down and take a divot. So this visually is down this blue arrow, make contact, brush the grass, and that ball will go up in the air. So all clubs are applying leverage. You see a shaft is leaning this way. So we were hitting the impact bag, we're hitting the bag as a force. So think of it as a force, a downward feeling to hit the face, and the faces make it go up. The instinct is to get underneath it and lift it with your hands. So here we're hitting our small shot. And just basically after the grip, you have a natural kinetic energy to move, not so much for the wrist. You can see the same thing here. You're going down and compressing the ball nicely here, and that ball just went up in the air. You'll see it pop up. And this is you just making simple little motions of how to move to make contact with a golf ball. So I'm going to pull this away. We're going to look over here. You're also going to see a tour player as they go through. Their hands are very quiet. They're not tennis. We're applying leverage to the ball. So always think of it as a leverage. Golf swing's about leverage. Impact bag, we're just going down to hit the bag. And these faces have a loft, and you'll see it hit the face. The club's on a descending blow. That means we're not going under. It's taking the divot afterwards. And that's natural within the swing. You don't have to try to do that. If you're swinging well, you'll take a divot. And see how quiet the hands are. Now, when we first start, hands get a little active. You can see a little rolling and stuff there. So that's instinctively people try to help with their hands. And they're on this downward blow. And it's really trying to create that picture in your mind of that, how the ball pops up in the air. Now, from here, in this drill, this is a good drill for you to see the leverage. So this is Roy, Michael Roy from the tour. So as we go down and hit the ball here, you can see I'm not trying to lift the bag. I'm applying leverage to the bag. This is taking your back hand and put your glove hand and put it right on your sleeve right here. And what you want to feel here is your core muscles and your legs. You want to feel all this energy right here in this space, in this low, what I call the low feeling. Let's do it this way. Everything is boxed as our low feeling. We're out of the shoulders and out of the wrist. We're applying leverage to a bag. Remember those chips, see, Roy down the same way as we just saw there, that the shaft has a natural lean to it because we're driving energy this way to hit the face to make it go up. Instinctively, people want to lift. And that's how we stay down through the shot. There's a compression down. Instinctively, people want to go up. And you have a little bit of that in your swing sometimes, but we just always want to feel like we're compressing down in the swing. Now, if we go up here to a bigger swing, let's see. Okay, so let's look at so we've done a bigger swing here, and you can see how you're going down. And the main thing on this, I just wanted you to feel like you're hitting kind of that down low feeling. So that gets us down to this bag. Again, the hard thing for golfers is try to lift it, and then you can see how you're going down to compress the ball, and it pops it up. Never underneath. We're always trying to feel that compression feeling downward in your swing. After we make contact on the swing, I'm going to move ahead to some players. So as the tour player goes down, we'll look at Tiger here on the top right. That's the impact bag was here. So we're going down to compress. That's a force to apply leverage to something. After impact, you'll see the club turn into a slingshot, meaning we're delivering energy into the golf club. Not only is a force, but what is speed, which is releasing. So that's a slingshot, let it fly. That you did pretty well. The biggest thing is you would always have an instinct to lift. You see how your energy is heading up. Their energy is heading towards the bag. It's a very natural sense to feel like you want to lift. That's when you got a little bit of trouble here, but I always just kept heading you down towards the bag. You see how they're working towards the ball, and then seeing people want to lift the ball. Now, you don't do it too much with your wrist, but you definitely want your shoulders to go more up. And you see they're driving this energy down, and then it can release up after that. This is our little chipping drill. You can see here I'm just this one-handed drill, and then two hands, and then I'm hitting the bag. I'm just playing a force, not a lift. And you see over here in the bottom screen, you'll see how the ball will hit the face, and the face makes it go up. There's no really under in the swing. We're just applying leverage to something, to the ball, and that will pop it up in the air on the club design. Now, as far as the backswing, you're going to see in a second, your back arm, this drill is important for you. It is to feel when you're doing this, the glove hand needs to stay right on this arm, and you need to fold the arm up. Picture me throwing a ball to the bag. See, it's an athletic throwing motion, so the right arm has to fold. Your arm didn't really want to fold as much. It wasn't bad there, but that part. Now, what you do really well is you make a natural pivot, which is great. And just keep both knees flexed here, don't get straight, and just let that right arm fold and send the energy downward. Fold down. You know, if you just took a club upside down and just apply the leverage to it, just simple, you don't have to hit it hard, and that's leveraging that ball to the ball. With a golf club, you can see I'm just going down the same way. And after that, there's a slingshot. I'm just going to hit before the hit and then let it slingshot back up. Force and let it go. From this side view, you'll see the same thing. Now, we're going to move ahead here and look at one more swing here of yours from the side view. Now, the one thing that you did a little bit would got you in trouble. Let me find your swing. Here we go. Okay. The golf club swings on these planes. There is the geometry of the swing. And what that means is, let's back this up. So the geometry of the swing is, there's an angle to which clubs are built on. And let's move this forward. So the geometry of a swing is that we are on this angle. Oops. On this angle, we're trying to swing the golf club. We've been looking from the front view to see energy and applying leverage, but the club has to swing on its natural plane angle. You'll see him go up and down this line. So his club is on a natural path to the golf ball. If somebody's too flat, which you'll see in a second, it's hard to get that angle back. So we do need to do that. The main thing to do this in your swing, if you watch your natural angle, it's going to be flat. It gets kind of behind you. And it's harder to get to the ball. See how that one didn't quite get your hit on the toe. So we need to feel that. Now the main thing to do is you have to fold that back arm. You'll see him fold his right arm up. That sends his hands up. So we fold, hands go high, and without lifting. Again, see how your hand is what we call flat. So we don't want that angle. That means you're turning a lot, but your arm isn't folding, and we need that to be, so you're on this angle, and it should be on the first blue line, right up in the space, and that little V would be fine. So we need to fold that back arm so it goes more up. So we want to make sure we get out of that, because if not, we're not on a natural angle to hit the golf ball. So when I did those back swings, I just basically folded this arm. You see how he folds his back arm right in front of him. Now he's on a natural path back to the ball. So work on that folding a little bit. And from, let's look one more time. As they go into the ball, they're applying energy to the ball. So you can see how we all three kind of go down. And it's not about lift, it's about creating power from the inside and that feeling. So that was pretty good. You came right inside, just kind of hit the toe a little bit, but not bad. And here's that same power feeling up and down with that right arm fold and unfold. The backswing, let your right arm elbow fold and unfold to the bag, and just keep that club in what we call in front of you. Here is a little teaching aid where you can just practice going up and down. Your arm needs to fold like this in the backswing. So your arm really never folds, kind of rolls more than folds. It needs to feel up and down. So that's a good feel for you to feel up and down with that thing, and it'll extend straight down. That's energy this way. You put that feeling with this little pivot feeling in the chest, and you've got your golf swing. So that repetition will help you kind of do it without thinking. And once you get here, we're just going to let that club just swing through right there, and almost like a slingshot.